Hello, my name is Craig Miser. I'm your area engineer representing TXDOT for Hunt and Range counties. I would like to welcome everyone to the IH30 Town Hall meeting. This meeting is being held to discuss the upcoming construction phasing of the IH30 project. Our goal is to inform the public of what to expect through the course of this contract. Briefly, the IH30 project let May 2008 for $38,770,000. The contract has 27 months of barricades. Austin Bridge and Road out of Irving, Texas is our contractor on board. The project extends from Monty Stratton Parkway to Division Street. The work consists of the construction of a new interchange at IH30 and Monty Stratton and at IH30 and 34. The work will also include a new turnaround bridge at Business 69, along with the relocation of ramps, construction of new ramps, frontage road work, and one-way frontage road conversion. Tonight we will provide a brief technical presentation of the construction phasing and then open the meeting up to discussion of the construction phasing until we have answered all questions, or 8:30 p.m. this evening, as at that time we need to close down and clean up as we have to be out of the building by 9. And then Chris Mountain, our assistant area engineer, is here to help me with my presentation. Chris right here. If we get into a situation where we may need to keep things moving along to the next person, I'm going to get Chris's help to kind of help focus in on that one particular person's question. Thank each of you for your support. We look to begin construction toward the middle to end of October 2008. The first notice will be the placement of our perimeter construction barricade signs. So once you see those signs out there, dirt's going to start flying. There are 3 major phases of work to follow. The first phase will begin by rebuilding a portion of the north frontage road, including new ramp construction in the Monty Stratton area to allow for the westbound IH30 detour and the construction of the westbound portion of the bridge over Monty Stratton. This work will temporarily close access from Monty Stratton to the north frontage road and close that portion of the frontage road with ending temporary cul-de-sacs. Additionally, this work will include the construction of 2 dynamic changeable message signs located on each approach to the city limits of Greenville, which will be functioning during the remainder of the contract work. Once we complete the westbound portion of the bridge over Monty Stratton, we will detour eastbound IH30 traffic over to the newly constructed westbound portion of the bridge over Monty Stratton. Then we will begin construction of the eastbound portion of the bridge over Monty Stratton. At the same time, ramps in this area and portions of Monty Stratton itself will be constructed, along with temporary cul-de-sacs to be constructed on the south frontage road. Once the eastbound bridge over Monty Stratton is complete, traffic will resume to normal patterns along IH30 main lanes and the north frontage road. Then we will build portions of the south frontage road and complete Monty Stratton. This work will continue with the construction of temporary ramps in preparation of the work at State Highway 34 and Business 69. Additionally, we will be working the at-grade interchange along the north frontage road at US 69, which will close the connector road from the east side of US 69 to the west side of US 69 under the bridge. Access will be accommodated by using the connector roads to Priscilla Lane. This work completes the Phase 1 construction, which basically constructs the interchange at Monty Stratton and allows circulation at Monty Stratton during the construction of State Highway 34. Starting up with Phase 2 We will begin by constructing the eastern portion of State Highway 34 bridge and approaches, which will include construction of ramps, auxiliary lanes, and portions of the frontage road system, which includes the tie-in to Business 69 turnaround bridge. This phase will also start off the one-way frontage road conversion. Traffic will be reduced to one lane northbound State Highway 34 and 2 lanes southbound State Highway 34. Temporary ramps will be open. Portions of the cloverleaf system will be closed. During beam hanging and deck pours, IH-30 traffic will be detoured to the frontage roads. Once we have completed the eastern portion of the State Highway 34 bridge, we will detour State Highway 34 traffic to the newly constructed section to allow construction of the western portion of the State Highway 34 bridge and bridges to continue. This work will include minor portions of the frontage roads and ramps. Traffic on State Highway 34 will be reduced to 2 lanes. The remaining cloverleaf system will be closed. Again, IH-30 traffic will be detoured to the frontage roads during beam hanging and deck pours. This work completes Phase 2. Starting up Phase 3, we will complete the minor portions of State Highway 34 intersections, remove detours, and continue with the exterior portion of the frontage road system. This work will include the completion of all driveways and cross-street construction along with US 69 connections. Traffic is still reduced to 2 lanes on State Highway 34. That was a brief summary of what to expect over the next 27 months. Before we open up the meeting for questions, I'd like to explain the ground rules. I will work to answer as many questions as possible concerning the construction phasing of this project only. Any questions concerning how or why we are doing this will be directed to contact me at my office to discuss at a later time. And it could be me or my staff, Chris. But please, this meeting is purely being held to inform the public of what to expect the next couple of years as far as construction in this corridor. If you need to contact me about why something was done this way, or why don't we put this ramp this way, again, my name is Craig Miser. My number is 903-455-2363. And we can set up a call, or I can answer your question then, or we can set up a meeting. But please, let's keep our questions focused on the issue at hand. This is a live contract. I'm going to meet early October with the pre-construction meeting to set up a timeline. Hopefully we're going to start middle of October, sometime between middle and end of October. We usually start within a couple weeks after a pre-con. And the contractor's ready to mobilize in. We've already had a pre-meeting. Also, to help us with the video production here and everything, and everybody being able to hear the questions, if you could please approach the mic here in front with your question. And some of your questions may require me to go through the plan, so just bear with me and we'll get it worked out. Let's go ahead and take the first question.
You mentioned a $38 million budget.
Yes, sir.
Do you consider that to be fully funded, this program?
Oh, yes, sir.
You're going to route I-30 around 34 on the access road
During
the hanging?
we've got to hang the beams across 30 main lane traffic. There's going to be temporary ramps and such built through the end of Phase 1 to allow that circulation to occur. And it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to allow circular movement to occur. That's a good question. And that kind of work is going to be done at the lowest volume of traffic we perceive, and we haven't decided when we're going to do that, but more than likely it would be on a Saturday or a Sunday, that kind of thing.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Plan to be working more than 8 hours a day on this project?
Projects, they work daylight to when the sun sets. They may work, I guess we've got 30 minutes before it's actually setting. We want you closed down because of the noise infractions to the public. But most contractors are generally doing that now. And so you may not actually see them doing physical work out there. They may use that time for their safety meetings, getting materials together, coordinating work, planning, making sure everybody's there, but they're starting that early. And then, we're going to be starting this job in the fall, so we're really not going to have to worry about, weather too much as far as concrete. But, when we're placing asphalt and those type of things, they become weather sensitive as far as the cold. And the concrete can too. I mean, you can't place once it gets too cold too. But really, what I'm trying to say is the way we're starting this job, there's only so many hours you're going to be able to work until we change time again next spring.
Did you say how long each of the phases was expected to last?
No, I did not. And that's a good question too. That this time next year, we'll be looking at starting State Highway 34 construction sometime here in the fall. Takes somewhere around 12 months. It's a 27-month contract. And then phase 2, I'm hoping, we've got a great contractor on board. I'm hoping we can kind of streamline some of this phase 3 stuff into phase 2. And, we're going to be listening to the public. We're going to be listening to our city. You can only do so good in 2D when you put plans together. And once we get it in 3D, we're out in the field building it, we're going to see issues that come up. Contractor's going to see them, and hopefully we can streamline some of this. I've already, in preparing for this meeting, seen a couple of things we could do.
How do you expect the traffic patterns to change, particularly the north-south traffic jams on 34 at the interstate there? Do you expect that to improve considerably?
You'll still have your 4-throughs. You've got U-turns on each side of 34, the Texas U-turns. They're provided on each side of 34. You've got good flowing, like there's partial free rights. When you come to the intersection, you know how you'll have a separate lane to pull off to the right, so you can kind of pull off that main.
We still have the 3 traffic lights there right at the interstate. There's 3 right now.
The 2 south of 30 on 34 will turn into 1. That's all. All that works together as 2 intersections. That's going to work into 1. Basically, that first intersection is going away, and we still have that one that's there by the Exxon and
the one that's closest to the interstate.
No, the one that's closest to the Exxon. On the south side.
On the south side.
It's adjusted some, but basically that one remained, and the one closest to 30 was removed. And then south of 30, those ramps will come in, and there'll be an intersection there, and then at Cary Lane there'll be an intersection. We couldn't reduce that one because of the emergency issues back there with the fire department. I'm sorry, did I not?
North-south.
Thank you, Chris. I was talking south and I went north.
Yeah.
Let me back up, I apologize. The ramps to complete, the diamond interchange, the new diamond interchange of 30 and 34, as you're approaching 34 from the east, heading west and exiting, those are going to connect north of 30 there at 34 at a new intersection. And then the intersection right now that exists at Cary Lane, it will remain. But the connection right now, as y'all aware, it comes right into Cary Lane. You could cross 34 and keep going onto Cary Lane. That's going to go away. Those driveways that connect that now, like Walgreens and Stonewall, they will be extended over to the ramp. So we've provided lanes out there, improved turning movements, signal phasing, et cetera, to account for this new traffic volume. Working with the citizens of Greenville and the citizens of Hunt County that were affected by this project, and even just people passing through, I think we've spent quite a bit of time. I started working here at 01, and we were working on this job. And we've gone through iteration after iteration. It's very difficult because this road's built into a system that's already got growth around it. If you're at a new location, you can do so much, but when you have all these access points already built into your design, it's very difficult to maximize your capacity of moving traffic through that interchange. And I think we've done a very good job to balance what TXDOT needs are and what the local community needs are. There's been partnerships through this job with local developers and owners and the local city administration and the local county administration. So I think that it's really, I think we've done an outstanding job as far as working with the community.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
What is the consideration for the high power poles, towers on Monty Stride and I-30?
Oh, they're being relocated. Right now, well, they're not being relocated. The poles are just going higher. There is a line that's being relocated. There's two lines out there, and one's being moved a little bit, but the big transmission lines are being extended upward.
I see.
And the poles are, I think the last thing I've got on it is with the Hurricane Ike and what's happened there. The production of the poles have been slowed a little bit, but we feel good. All that'll work out, and they'll be able to get the poles pretty soon, and everybody's working together. And you know, I don't see that slowing us up at all. We're going to be able to get out there and start work in October.
Even with the height of I-30, after I-30 will come, still will be higher from both ends, north and south, or is not crossing I-30?
It's crossing I-30.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, we're going over Monty Stratton.
Yeah.
And that line, you know, it exists over 30 now, so now we're bringing this new structure over there. So that there has to be a clearance
Oh, I see.
from the power lines to the structure. And so you can see that that's been compromised.
I see.
We're bringing a new bridge in there.
And I thank the government controlling the city of Greenville for a wonderful beginning for the city of Greenville. I really thank you very much.
I was wondering if any consideration had been made to pedestrian access across either 34 or I-30.
When we started designing, you know, for those types of functions and movements, it was determined that there was not enough pedestrian traffic to warrant widening that bridge and putting up the fencing and everything there is that's required to allow for pedestrian crossing.
I do see people that cross, but unless you have actually tried crossing yourself, you don't really realize how scary of a proposition that is. And I think that the pedestrian traffic would be there if it was not very unsafe to do so. And I do hear people tell me that they actually prefer to try to cross the lanes of I-30, and this was before the barrier was made, rather than to go on top of the bridge. And at any rate, since density, I think, will only increase around that, and that more people will have their dwellings in that area, that there will be increased need in the future.
Our studies are showing that it's not deserving to put those kind of monies into that for the taxpayers of Texas.
Done. I'm having a hard time understanding the map, so maybe you could show us.
Okay.
But the exits off of 30 to get to Wesley,
Okay.
can you show me where those are going to be, both east and west?
The
That's okay. It's on this.
okay. The exit ramp for Wesley Street on eastbound I-30 is just past Monty Stratton. It's right here. Everybody see that? Here's the Wesley Street interchange right here. And here's the exit ramp for eastbound I-30 to Wesley Street, just past Monty Stratton as you're heading eastbound. Westbound, here's US 69 right here, and the exit ramp is right here. Make sense?
That westbound exit ramp, thank you, Chris, was basically pulled back. You know how dangerous it is right now when you exit westbound, you're going westbound 30, you want to exit to 34. You know, I think it's pretty dangerous. And we've pulled that back out of that curve. We can't, that's what I was talking about earlier. with this design, what's made it so hard is we have things that are built in. One of the things that are built in is that heavy horizontal curve out there that goes under 34 as you approach it, you know, from the east going west. And so we pulled that ramp back into a location that we feel has improved the safety.
Subject of exits, did the exit between 69 business and 69 go away?
And so if you want to, you know, get on the frontage road right now, westbound in between Business 69 and US 69, and you wanted to go to Priscilla Lane, say, you're going to have to exit. As soon as you get across the Sabine River going west, you're going to have to think about exiting, and as you go under Division Street, that exit's going to be right there.
Fit of all those residents of Greenville that might be at soccer games or school functions or anything else that might be going on.
Yes, sir.
Is this information available?
On our TXDOT webpage, as far as construction, what lanes are closed, that kind of thing, there'll be continuous updates as to.
Is the overall view out there right now?
No, the overall view,
I
you know,
realize
the
it's
plans,
pretty big.
the plans are out there. They can be downloaded if somebody wanted to, you know, get the plans.
Okay.
But as far as just having that, like, you know, on a web page or something, is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about? We don't have that.
Okay. Thank you.
That's something that you're the second person that's asked that. I'll get back and see if there's something we can do with that. But right now we don't have that.
Thank you.
We're 2 + 2 for 4, you know, equals 4 guys. We're engineers, and you know, we can always use help from the community if we're not explaining it right, or you know, it's not clear. You just have to let us know, because we don't have an agenda to hide something. You know, we just think we've done our job, so you just have to let us know.
I understand you're going to take that exit out, which is basically 94B, in between 69 and 69 business, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, when they're going to do a turnaround right there at 69?
So you'll only be able to turn around approaching it from the west heading east.
Right, the whole frontage road to do that?
Yes, there'll be some frontage road. When I was talking earlier, but in the phasing, that we'll be tearing up half the frontage road, and we'll leave about 11-foot lane there.
Okay.
You know, the first.
But it'll be open at all times, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes, sir. Basically, in phase 2, we'll start a lot of that frontage road work, where we'll be working on the inside of the frontage road, the half of the frontage road that's closest to the main lanes of 30. And that's to allow for the ramp tie-ins and that construction to work together. Phase 2, you know, we're going to build the eastern half of 34, and then a lot of the, you know, the ramping in that area, and the inside section of the frontage road. And wherever it's needed to be widened all the way to Division Street from there, we'll build the inside of the frontage road. And some of that work is going to be to tie in that US 69 turnaround bridge. Because we build it first, and it's not tied to anything.
Are they going to have to build that up where the bridge is?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. But as far as the half that's built toward the businesses, there literally should not be any impact to the businesses. We're tying up to grade. We're not taking any right-of-way on this contract. So that tells you right there that we're basically putting it back to place at our right-of-way line. And, you know, we'll have to provide access through every one of these phases to our businesses. And, you know,
That's my main concern.
and, you know, there'll be times when, you know, it'll be difficult.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to emphasize with my voice when we went down on State Highway 34 in Phase 2. It's not going to be a fun time, and we just need to work together, and if there's things that we can improve, we will. But there's going to be a good 8, 12, 15 months there that, you know, people are going to be a little frustrated during that time.
Is that the only other exits that's going to be there, or
Yes, sir.
the next one won't be until you get right up to 34?
That's correct.
if we can get these or make copies of them, and I think we actually can print them out, but we can locate these at our different facilities. We can actually locate them at City Hall.
Okay.
Get them posted. If people don't want to get on the internet
Sure.
and look at them, we can actually have them put up in our lobby areas and so forth.
Okay,
And certainly have it at City Hall, and one of the places I'm also thinking of is the library. I'll get with Paul Phelan.
okay.
And that way
Be
people,
great.
if they want to come down to our facilities and take a look at them, or get on the internet and look at them, we'll have them out there.
Okay, just let us know, Steve, how many copies you need.
Okay.
A year from now, we're going to be working on State Highway 34, and that's where I'm going to need everybody's patience cap. You've got 1 lane northbound and 2 lanes southbound, and the way we determined that, we could only get 3 lanes in there, and we figured the worst movement was going to be south for the majority of the 24-hour period. And then when we go to Phase 2, which is actually building a bigger portion of that bridge, and it'll take a little longer, you're going to be over there on what we built, and it's just 1 lane each direction. So, that's why we build Monty Stratton first, is it's got a Texas U-turn on it, and you can circulate from the frontage roads, down at grade under 30 and come back around. And I know it's a little Greek right now, but as you see, as it gets clearer and clearer, when we get done with this project, I think everybody's going to be excited. You're not going to have some of the congestion issues that we've got right now.
You talked about the access road in the Walmart area on the south side of the interstate.
Yes, sir.
Between 34 and 69.
Okay.
That's going one way when you start working 34, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So it's not going to be an access that you can reach from 69.
69 to 1570 and
Right.
full 1570
Go
to
around.
Traders and,
The state will only do the turnaround, right? You will not replace Monty Stratton. Are you going to do the paving on Monty Stratton? And
Yes,
go
we're
across
going
it?
to do some of the paving. By the end of that phase, that work will be done. When we go to south right-of-way line along Monty Stratton, the north right-of-way line under 30, you'll have 4 lanes, 2 lanes going north and 2 lanes going south. And so that inside lane will be used to, turn left.
I'm wondering if the city of people have looked at the possibility that we need more exit ramps than what is on this schematic.
We've got the maximum amount that we feel of exit ramps and entrance ramps in this corridor from Monty Stratton to Division Street to manage the traffic that's out there. There's separation distances between ramp to ramp, and one of our most challenging, the city can, back me on this, one of our most challenging areas was this exit ramp to 34 there, in between 34 and Monty Stratton, trying to get that in there, because you also have an entrance ramp as you approach Monty Stratton. And there's just not enough room. We've got that thing squeezed down, and we discussed over that, many nights on how to get that accomplished. And then you've got, you're trying to get people back on 30 there at US 69, on the north side of 30, and we have 2 on-ramps there. You've got an on-ramp, because remember, as far as you got to get those people back on to 30 when they exit off. When you exit off back west of Business 69, they've got to traverse through that intersection at Business 69, and then we need to get them on as soon as possible, because we've pulled them long enough. We need to get them on. And so there's a ramp there, and then when you get under US 69, we've got another ramp to handle the people coming down 69 that we had to get on. And when you start looking at these movements, you've got major, State Highway 34, y'all know, is a major north-south corridor in this area, major. It has higher traffic than US 69, which is our truck route. Okay, then you got US 69 not very far away, and then Business 69 is closer. And, you're trying to provide access, off-ramps, on-ramps to 30 from those major facilities in a very close area. I sure appreciate y'all's support. Thank you.